What's going on, guys? Midwest Tokusatsu here, back with another toy review. This time for the Power Rangers Lost Galaxy Lightning Collection Magna Defender. Now, before we get started, a couple of things. I know I'm super late to reviewing this one because I know that the Wave 2 Lightning Collection figures came out months ago, but recently I've been back in school and I've cut hours at work, so I haven't been making as much as I usually have been, and I haven't really had the funds to buy Lightning Collection figures, so I kind of figured that I'll just buy and review what I can at this point. And recently I just came into some Walmart gift cards, and with those I got this and also the Lightning Collection Pink Ranger, so I do plan to finish at least the Mighty Morphin team for now, and maybe even SPD when they get around to that, because I know they're doing red for Wave 4, I believe. So yeah, now getting into this guy. As always, we'll start by taking a look at the box art. On the front, we got a nice render of the Magna Defender there. His face kind of bleeds on the side there, like usual. Love it. On the back, you got a nice full shot of the figure there with his sword. Coming around to the right, another figure, well, another picture, excuse me. And bottom. So taking a look at him out of box, the Magna Defender looks awesome. And that's due in part to the nature of the suit design itself. Because even with all this extra armor, his articulation is pretty much on par with the rest of them. Like, we'll start with everything coming down to the legs here. Well, the feet. As you would expect, he has an average foot swivel, knee bend, leg bend, and even under his leg piece there, it can still swivel. Now, admittedly, his shoulder up here is kind of hindered by this pad, but that's understandable, I guess. I mean, it can't be perfect. He's got an elbow bend, arm swivel, hand swivel, torso movement, and I believe his head should be ball jointed. Okay, that doesn't seem to move as much as the other ones. Still got a side to side, but if it's a ball joint, then I'm really having a hard time moving the head back and forth. Like, that could just be me. So your mileage may vary there. But as far as articulation goes, like, he's good. Now, what would a Lightning Collection figure be without, of course, accessories? Well, they'd just be figures. Duh. But we get no shortage of that here. So starting off, we have his sword, which comes in a sheath. So that was a nice little touch they added there. And that can plug right on the side of his belt, right there. That's kind of a cool pose. And then we also get his sword in its blaster mode, so you can pose him with that separately. I mean, you could do both, but technically it's the same weapon, so why would you? A blasting effect piece. And also a pair of swappable hands. Now, coming over to his sword in hand, I put him in a plethora of dynamic poses. Now, admittedly, at first I had a tough time trying to get the sword in his hand because of the way the hand is molded. There's not a big enough gap to put it in there as easily as you should be able to, and it caused me to kind of chip some paint on the, I don't want to say the handle, but the horn pieces. But it's nothing I couldn't fill in with, you know, a permanent marker or anything, because it's black, so it's not going to be too noticeable. But just know your mileage may vary on that end. But other than that, the sword itself, we didn't take a look at that. Looks good. All the detail seems to be there for it. I don't think I've noticed anything missing on there. You can see there's the chip paint right there on the sword handle itself. But yeah, for the most part, that looks good. Coming over to his second pair of hands, we have his sword. We have his sword in its blaster mode, which looks very cool here. And this was a lot easier to put in this pose than the other pair of hands, because obviously his right hand is a lot more open, which makes it so much easier to handle. Now, on top of the blaster form, we have this effects piece here, which plugs right in to the blaster here. There we go. Yeah, it's a bit hard to tell what angle that piece goes in because the peg is so small you can't really see. But yes, this also looks cool. The effect actually, I think this is actually one of the better effects pieces because like it actually looks like something is coming from the blaster itself. And that's more than I can say for, say, Lord Zed's lightning effect or that piece for Saba on with the White Ranger figure. But yeah, that's really all I can say. So capping things off here, the Magna Defender is another great addition to the Lightning collection, just by the nature of the suit design alone. Now, if you're one of those people like me, kind of, who's not really going that hard into the Lightning collection, I would say at least get this one, just because of how distinct it is, because technically, he's not even a Ranger. So that should be enough of a selling point by itself, because there was a lot more that they had to pay attention to in order to get this guy right. Like the gold bits and the zigzag lines, like they had to get that just the right tone, I'd say. And also that silver paneling on the armor right here. As well as some other minor things. I mean, the cape probably could have been better, but, I mean, could have been a lot worse too, so there you go. But that's going to just about do it for him. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications for future videos. You can follow me at Midwest Tokusatsu on Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon. And as always, this is your captain, signing out.